and Todd and I are playing dueling paintings. I was trying to position where him and I were looking exactly
Wow.
the same. Yeah.
You did better with your lighting than I did.
Yeah, these rooms are not great for lighting, are they?
No. It's a super nice hotel. Enjoy the sights, the warm weather down here in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
But the lamps could be a little brighter.
It could be. It could be. But we
didn't, just in case you're wondering, Carl, Brian and I didn't come down to Orlando, just go to Pier 1 Imports and buy matching artwork.
No, that's right. That's right. Although I do have a confession to make, Spivey. I did take another sliver out of my Gideon's Bakery pistachio toffee chocolate cookie this morning. So I that's my confession to you.
Well, you know what, Brian? I think every now and then we have to say yes to ourselves, man. And, I think you earned it, brother.
The heart wants what the heart wants, as they say. Yeah.
We were downstairs last night, Carl, having a little bit of that cookie with your brother Ryan and Marshall and Ann. Just was really cool to catch up and see a few folks that are down here for the spring tour. And in case you have not been, make sure you find the Gideon Bakery in Orlando, Florida. Absolutely amazing. I've never seen a chocolate chip cookie that is actually crusted with chocolate chips all the way around the outside.
Yes, it is a 1/2 pound cookie. And obviously you don't eat the whole thing unless you do, but it's supposedly the best chocolate chip cookie in the world. And I think we would agree that it met its standard for certain. But yeah, like you said, Todd, it's so good to be with everybody here in Orlando for the spring tour. Excited to see those of you that are on the way. I know some of you listening are. Joanna in the chat, looking forward to seeing you, unless you're heading to Orlando for something else. But yeah, looking forward to our builders call. What do we got up, Spive?
Yeah, man, fired up today. So many of you out there know Carl Miller. If you don't know Carl Miller, you're about to be extremely blessed. Just one of the most kind, sincere, authentic human beings, I think, are a lot of the adjectives that get thrown around with Carl. Associate partner, dynamic builder. Not only has a large organization, guys, that's making a significant impact throughout our company, but sincerely known as one of the teams out there that has a synergy and a caringness to it that reverberates throughout the rest of the organization. And just so grateful for that. And I was talking to Carl. Carl oftentimes has been very successful in cold market recruiting. He's done a lot of warm market recruiting. But recently, Carl and I were talking about a little bit of a different angle, something that he's been doing with his agency here recently in getting engaged with new recruits right out of the gate, trying to connect with them in a very meaningful way and really setting everybody up with a couple of things I think Carl will talk about, which is, expectations that you're going to have within your experience here at Symmetry, but also the support to let you know that Carl's here, his leaders are here, the organization, Quality itself is here. There are so many opportunities to connect and find your own path to the top here at Symmetry. And I think Carl is doing a great job with that. And I asked him to come on today and spend a little time explaining and talking about his experience and some of the things that he's been doing differently here in building. Mr. Carl, welcome, buddy.
Awesome, Todd. Thank you, man. I'm so grateful that to you and Brian, especially, you guys have impacted my life and all of our lives by being here. So I really appreciate you guys. And just to make it official, guys, my name's Carl Miller. I am direct to Symmetry, but I wouldn't be able to be that if my brother Ryan and my sister Michelle Miller didn't hire me. And so I'm part of their team, also part of Rob Puckett and Bobby Puckett's team, and then Marshall Whalen's team as well. And Brandon, Casey, Brian, thank you. I can never say thank you enough to you guys, just for the sacrifices that you've made for all of us and just making it possible for us to chase what we want. So I'm just super appreciative. And yes, man, when you asked me to come on here, Todd, I was super excited, because what I'm excited about right now is warm market recruiting. and specifically warm market recruiting with all of the people that we just hired this week, meaning we just received their agent applications back this week. And I figure, I've heard a lot of talk over the years about the funnel, and we have a producing funnel and a recruiting funnel. And so I'm just trying to get as far back in the funnel as I can to give our agents an opportunity to recruit. But make no mistake about it, Todd, like you said, we are very deep in the cold market as well. Like, for example, we're following Max Day and what he's created through Quility. We're doing across the entire agency, direct agency, we're doing and I know, Todd, you started calling it maybe the Quility system, but the Max Day
Quility recruiting funnel.
Quility recruiting funnel. Let me write that
Say that
down.
7 times fast.
Yeah, all right. So there's two processes though to the Quility recruiting funnel, right? There's the automated process, and then there's the manual process. And my experience is that both processes work extremely well, but pick one. Unless you're a bigger agency owner, then maybe you pick both. The more that we do, the more that we can feed that funnel, the more that's going to pop out of it. So just a couple of notes here. Like, I know that regional agency director Grant Lieber and his team are really getting some traction with the Quility recruiting process on the automated side, and that really goes down to like agency owner Alec Myers that had a record month, coming off of a record month. And again, this is going to be a combination below Alec of key leader Ryan Newman and top producer Shauna Berrigan that are really coming up with the manual as well. So we have a lot of cold market going on. What kind of resources? Cold market style, ZipRecruiter, Career Builder, Indeed, Craigslist, all of the things that everybody knows. There's no secrets there. We're just following along, and we're getting extremely good results there. On the manual side, and this is where I'm getting into the warm market now, I've been working extremely closely with agency director Christine Slavic, agency owner Michelle Brock, and agency owner Travis Stevens, and my base shop to create a meet and greet. And I say create, I didn't create anything. I just listened to the leaders above me. For example, it's probably 9 months ago, Ryan brought me this idea that he started doing with a meet and greet once a week with all the new people that just got hired on. And he got the idea from Jacob Pogue. So I just took it and I ran with it. So what we're doing in that meet and greet is it's really for engagement. And you think about a year ago, Todd, a lot of what we were doing was about engagement, coming off of COVID and everything. And so the good thing about this is that all of the new agents get to meet their direct 120. And then I'm an open book, meaning I give them some of my story. I give them my phone number, and then I ask them two things. I want to know where they're located and where they're at in the process. And we'll have a 30-second exchange or so. Every one of the people on there gets to say something, which is good. And I want them to know that I'm a complete open book. Like, I know that you see me here with this level of leadership and all this stuff, but like, I'm just a regular guy. And I want to help you succeed because helping you helps our business, right? So once we get through that, I have 2 goals of this call. And by the way, let me back up a second. You don't have to have a meet and greet to do what I'm about to give you guys, okay? Like, I could very easily talk to my new recruits one-on-one and give them this exact conversation that I'm about to give all you guys. So it doesn't mean that it has to be in the format that I'm doing it in. It can be one-on-one, and I would definitely tell you to talk to the person that's mentoring you before you make adjustments. So when we talk about recruiting on the warm market side, that's what I'm trying to do in that meet and greet. I have 2 goals. Number 1, I want to drive them to the huddle up calls that we do during the week. And then number 2, I want to drive them to start recruiting, the ones that want to. Okay. So how do we do this? Basically, guys, I start by asking a pretty simple question. And it's not even really a question, it's more of an assumption. every single person that comes to this company wants to build an agency. Let's say 99% of the people want to build an agency because that's where the big income is. The only question in building the agency is whether they want to build now or whether they want to build later. Now, I was one of those that wanted to build later. I was a warm market recruit, everybody, right? I came from, my brother Ryan hired me. And I wanted to get started fast, but I was a little afraid. And what I was afraid of was that, like, I needed to be the one to train them, right? I mean, that's what it was in my other business. When I was managing or salesman, I got to train them. When Ryan said, Carl, listen, man, the biggest regret that everybody has in this company is that they didn't start building their team sooner. Most of them do. I'm standing here telling you I don't have that regret because I did start building my team right away, but I was afraid. And that's when Ryan told me. Ryan said, Carl, listen, you're not training anybody, okay? You need to figure this thing out for yourself first. And he said, we don't have to train people here. We've got a system, we've got a process. Yeah, there's mentorship, but guys, the mentorship, we're here to steer. Like, you know, when you drive a car, a little bit one way, a little bit the other way, that's really all we're here to do. So recruiting now. Ryan's going to take care of my people. The system's going to take care of my people. So why not get started? So I did. But I was broke. And I'm sure some of you on this line can relate to. I didn't have any money for the resources on the cold market side, the Zip recruiter, the career, but I didn't have the resources. So all I had was my resources, meaning the resources and relationships that I had been building over the years. So in the study course, man, I started planting seeds, and I got through that study course pretty quick, Todd. I started planting seeds with my list of 20. So that was one thing. I want you guys to write that down. It was my list of 20 people that I wanted to be in business with, 20 people that I wanted to travel the world with. I'm not talking about the ones that, like, some of us on here, I still have friends like this that, like, they act like they're not even out of high school yet. Like, I'm not going to be putting those guys on my list so much, right? I'm going to be putting people on my list that I think are going to run hard, that are going to work hard, that are going to do what I'm doing, right? What I'm going to be doing. So I made my list. And one of the first people that I reached out to was John Ziller. It's so funny when I think about this too, Todd. Like, I reached out to John, and I told John about what I was doing and the money I was making. And John quickly came back to me, Todd, and he goes, because I know what my break even was. And I'm just going to tell you guys, like, I needed $10,000 a month when I first started here to pay bills, to be able to put some money away. That John says to me, Todd, real quick, he says, level with me, Carl. Can I make $25,000 a month? I'm like, dude, what do you need $25,000 a month for? He's like, man, I got expenses. I'm like, I told him, I said, Todd, you could do it, but you got to be like the number one guy in the company. Number one guy in the company's making more than that. He goes, all right, sign me up. So John signed up. My first month in the business, I got John Ziller now as my recruit. Would you all on this line, some of you know, but the new people probably don't know. Do you know that? And I've been here for 7 years, everybody. In John Ziller's first year, which was 2016, first complete year, he was the number one agent in the entire company. Number one. See, these are the kinds of people you want to be looking for, guys. People that you look up to, people that you have an even respect with, like John and I. Like, that's a 50-50 street there in terms of respect. So John's here. John's running. That same month, I found Josh, and I didn't find Josh and Danielle Hershey. Like, me and Danielle were working in the same business together before the business that I came from in the home improvement remodeling industry. And Josh was doing some stuff there too, but here was their challenge. Both of them worked 70-hour-a-week jobs, Todd, and they wanted to have a baby. They do have a baby. Got to see her at the graduation party on Sunday. She grew like a foot in that time. But the point is they needed something different. They couldn't work those jobs. And we're all about time, money, balance. Hey, Josh, we're in Dallas. Let's take a drive to Houston tomorrow. Todd, Houston's 5 hours away. But we did. Josh got in the car. We went to Houston. Now, Josh is on board too. Josh and Danielle. I've got a point to all this, right? Okay, this is all off of my list of 20. There were 10 people off that list that came on board and wrote production here. There was one more person that came on. She came on 3 months into the business, and I'm gonna come back to this 3 months in the business idea because there's something important with that. And I was talking to Christine Slavik, and all of it, like Josh and Danielle Hershey, regional agency director, John Ziller, I think senior vice president right now, moving up. Christine Slavik, agency director, brought her on, and same thing, man. She was in my other business. She really cares a lot about people. She was actually going to school for a real job, being like a doctor. But then when I started here and I'm sharing my excitement, I'm excited, right? I was excited about my future, about what this meant for me, and what it meant for them. Are you hearing that? Like John Ziller missed his daughter's first birthday party because of our 70-hour-a-week work schedule. There were things about this that was good for them. I wasn't thinking, hey, I'm gonna have this $8-10 million a year team. I'll make all this money. I wasn't thinking about any of that, man. I was thinking about what was in it for them, not what was in it for me. So Christine comes on board. Guys, listen to this. Fast forward 7 years now, okay? Well, actually 6. So at the end of last year, John Ziller's team, they did just shy of $4 million last year. Josh and Danielle Hershey's team last year, they did $3 million. Christine Slavik's team last year did $1 million. All for getting started early instead of late. And it's okay to start late. Todd, there are so many people at the top of this. There are plenty of people at the top of the company that started building late. It's okay, but like, guys, I was broke. Like I couldn't wait. Like I couldn't wait to get out of the position that I was in because it was bad. All right, so I tell you all of this because why not you? Let me ask you this. Everybody on this line, I want to hear the chat menu on this one, okay? If I could give you a warm market game plan today that didn't cost you a penny, that could lead to what you see right here 6 or 7 years from now, I want you to type in the chat menu, meaning I want that plan right now, guys. Light it up for me. Oh, there it comes. Why not? It's free, right? I didn't pay my recruiting expense, 0 on those. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Okay, here's the plan. The plan is this. You create your list of 20, just like Ryan asked me to do. You create your list of 20. And what I want you to do is I want you to send that list, not the phone numbers, just the names, to the person that hired you, okay? So this way, they'll know where you're at. They're going to know the people that you're talking to, right? Your job now, once you have that list of 20, is to contact every one of those people that you know, and you're gonna talk to them about this position, and you want to be very brief about your position. If you're brand new and you just started, it would sound something like this. It would sound like this. You would say, "Hey man, I'm really excited about my new position here. I'm protecting families. I feel like this is the way of the future for me, but I also value your opinion, Todd. So I'm going to send you a text with a couple of videos. They're really short. I think it's like 7 minutes total for both of them that explain what I'm going to be doing. Can you take a look at them for me, Todd, and give me your opinion about what you think about this career for me?"
Sure, sounds reasonable.
Hey, Todd, let me ask you, brother, how many people want to give you their opinion about your life that you know? Everybody wants to give you their opinion about your life, right?
There's no shortage.
Yes. Right? So that's good. And you'll do that. And you'll send. Now, your job is to follow up with those people in 2 days with a phone call. Don't text them. Don't email with a phone call. All right. This is where everybody's really got to get your pens ready, okay? Because I'm going to give you the magic question that you ask here. This is magical. Todd, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think? All right. I've seen this so many times, Todd. It's so awesome to ask that question and get the answer, because it's a derivative of "this is awesome" is going to be the first word that comes out of their mouth. I have never shown this to somebody that I knew and them not say "this is awesome." So it can go one of two ways, though. "This is awesome. Hey, dude, it's like one of my buddies that came on the team, James Viles. He's in my Bible study class. He saw those and he said, man, this is awesome. I mean, I love what I do, but yeah, I do need a few grand extra a month though, right?" So he was in as a part-time agent. So they could say, yeah, this is awesome, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. They may volunteer it and say, well, I'm happy with what I'm doing, but this would be right up Pete's alley. This is right up Jan's alley too. You ought to talk to Pete and Jan. Okay, now my list just went from 20 to 22. Actually, got to take the one person off, so it go to 21, right? All right, let's look at the other side of the coin. So the other side of the coin is, this is awesome. How do I get involved? Depending on who your upline is. Like, let's say the person that hired you is a top producer in the company. I know the top producer in the company and they're hiring. Or I know the key leader. I know the agency owner. I know the associate partner and they're hiring. I can get you an interview. And then your job, meaning is to get a 2-hour window from them. I don't know any leader in this company. Like, if you give them a 2-hour window and you want to do a 3-way interview with yourself, me, and your friend, I don't know anyone in the company that can't make space for that interview within a 2-hour window. But again, check with the person that hired you, and they'll give you the exacts on that. And then you get that 2-hour window to me, and then I'll tell you what time that interview is going to be. Todd, this has worked out so strong. And then now on the backside, here's the thing. Here's what I've learned by doing this. Like, on the backside, if we're following up, we can get more traction. If we're following up, why else would they send us that list of 20? They're doing that so we can hold them accountable. Guys, everybody loves accountability. I love it. Hold me accountable all day long. I love it because it means I'm going to get something done, right? I have somebody, and I'm not gonna mention this person's name, but I do have a new agent that's been here for 3 months. SNA, Slingshot, all of that. And this week she has 2 writers from the 12 3-way interviews that we've done. 2, right? It's impactful. And I want to spend the rest, I've got 6 more minutes, Todd. I want to spend the rest of this talking about strategy for all of the people that are going to implement something like this. Like, guys, it has never been easier to climb the Symmetry ladder to the top of the company than it is right now. Why? Well, because you guys all get to promote your first 3 promotions in 1 month. I had to go through those in 2, right? So where it took me 28 months to get to the top of the company, it can be done now in 23 months. But here's the thing. You got to think ahead. Like, you can't, if you're starting today to build a business, you can't really think about what's going on today. You've got to be looking 2 or 3 promotions down the road of what it's going to look like then. The person that takes this and does it, they duplicate what I was taught, right? And they do it. By the time they get to their 90th day, they've already made it to 85%, right, Todd? 70 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85. And now, like, you've already got the team going. Like, at that point, you actually could be doing enough volume to qualify for agency owner with your own. Now, obviously, we have to be at 95% to make that happen. But now, like going into that 90th, going into the fourth month, now you have enough in overrides to completely pay your lead budget. How many people, if you like the idea of building a business that could produce free leads for you, say I in the chat menu. me, right? All of us. Why not? But you just got to be looking ahead, man. Like if you're working on your promotion right now, you're behind. Like you should be working a promotion or two ahead. So Todd, man, I know there's a few minutes left, but dude,
no, it's good. I want to ask Carl, like, so when you're doing these early huddles, I mean, how soon in these early huddles are you having these conversations and getting on with your new recruits, getting on the 3-ways?
Oh, right away. Yeah, right. So right after that Saturday, so we do it every Saturday morning. We hop on that meet and greet. And so it could be as quick as Saturday evening. It's up to them, right? That we could get on a 3-way. It might be Monday. But realistically, your job, once you get in touch with them, right? So we've asked that, what do you think question? And they said, hey, this is awesome. How do I get in? Well, I want to set that appointment for today, right? I want a 2-hour window today that we can have that 3-way conversation and get them hired. Good question, brother.
So good. Mr.
Good
Watkins.
Stuff, Carl.
Welcome,
Killing him, brother.
Casey?
Man, that was good stuff. I caught the last like 10 minutes of that. Man, so good, Carl.
Well,
So
brother,
good.
hey, thank you for saying that. But you know, I'm not creating it. I'm just duplicating, bro.
Right? No, I get that, but man, your posture and your energy and everything about it is just really, you can tell you're in the heat of battle, you know, in a very good way. Like you got that smoke of battle on you, which is awesome. Awesome, man. I love that. And so, yeah.
I say we know from our research, BI has dug into this too, and even from our people analytics data, you know, what you're doing, Carl, really is the differentiator in agent activation and just the whole relational process and the time that it takes to actually bring people along. There's a strong correlation between those practices of a leader where you are doing the connection and the engagement and the conversations and all of that from day one and being more involved. You know, you cannot be an abdicator manager and expect that people are actually going to mysteriously, you know, like sea monkeys. We had those when I was a kid. I was looking forward to those cartoon characters being, you know, appearing before my very eyes, just adding water, and it didn't happen, right? So you're doing the behaviors of leaders worth following and leaders that actually get the kind of results that we're seeing. People like, you know, Sarah Reinecke, she just talked about this, her retention rate's really strong. And I think a lot of that is around the kind of things you described here. So yeah, bravo. Way to be an example. Yeah.
And just to kind of piggyback on that, Brian, all we're really doing with this little process here is we're turning our cold market warm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. You look at some of the biggest, fastest growing organizations we have in our company, you know, started early on grassroots with just good warm market, you know, and to your point, you know, you can take cold market and turn it into warm market too. You just have to understand how to do that with new people. That's exactly what you were hitting on. And I think for me, and I think probably for a lot of people, the hardest part about it is also just figuring out, well, what is it that you're actually going to say when you call this person? You know, if I'm going to call my brother or my uncle or my cousin or my best friend or somebody that I used to work with or just anyone in my warm market, what does that opening line sound like? Yeah. You know? Yeah, and absolutely. I think that what I'm getting, what I just got from you, again, just from a posture standpoint, it's just real. You know, there's no script to it necessarily. It's just, hey, you know, I found something. I'm in an industry that's exploding, that needs a lot more help. I'm with the company that's going through the same thing. Just wanted to know if you were open to, you know, open to either a side hustle, a way to make an extra 1,000 or 2 a month, or something bigger than that. Just If you're not, that's fine. Tell me to get lost. Just like you can be real with it. You don't need a script. You just have to be real with it and kind of, but you have to understand what's going on with the company and believe that and believe what's going on in the industry to really be able to kind of have that posture, I think, and it's clear that you have that and that you can teach people how to have that, Good stuff, man.
I'm just confident, Casey, and what you,
yeah.
I mean, dude, what you guys have unleashed on us over the last 2 years, like, it's just, I mean, how can you not be excited? You know what I mean? Like,
That's it. You're right, man.
Release the Kraken. Right. Release the Kraken.
That's good.
I like how you worked in a Kraken reference while we're down here near Pirates of the Caribbean.
You saw that?
I saw that. Paying attention.
I thought that was an Ernie McCracken call.
You like Steve and I's matching artwork here? We're Pier 1 artwork.
Yeah. You guys look good.
I couldn't change my background a little bit. I'm actually outside of Brandon's office. My office is right down there. So I couldn't change my background for you, Brandon. Let me switch this up. See if this is better. That's better.
Would that be weird for you, Brandon, to do the conference call
Nice.
staring at the back of Casey's head, watching him on your screen?
I got my computer screens blocking him out. Oh, no, I can.
I am.
Two birds up. Was that a Pirates of the Caribbean reference or Ernie McCracken reference?
Ooh,
Big Ern McCracken.
Big Ern was the man. Anybody wants to put your favorite Big Ern McCracken quote in the chat, Spivey, it would really make Spivey's day. So, let's roll right into it because we got some leaderboards to hit and we got a doozy of a call. We have a video on deck for the transition later on, Spivey.
we do.
All right, cool. Let's hit this stuff first, and we'll come back to it. As I said, we've got a heck of a call lined up. Agency Director Derek Brock with Karen Earhart, Hayden Berger, and Sales Representative John Love. Get your pens and papers ready. It's going to be good. And we have a lot of leaderboards to cover today. Our number one brand new rider, Browning Rains, almost $33,000 in production. That sounds like it might be a record. Also good for number one for the month. So well done. Also,
wow,
Bailey,
Browning,
Gabriella Menarino.
Love that name too, Browning. Browning Rain sounds like a gun owner, like a manufacturer or something.
Uh-oh.
We're
going to assume that's not what Browning Rains is for the day. Top personal producers for the week, Andre Nero. Good Lord, 68 grand. That is definitely a record. $141,854 in personal production. Way to go, Andre. Unbelievable. 38 applications. That's a healthy app count too. It's not like he popped one of those suckers in. 66. Right. He's still, now don't get me wrong, he still has a really healthy average there. But yeah, well done. Theodore Lotz, top Medicare supplement writer for the week and the month. Just kind of tripping over it, guys. Get your Medicare sup info so you can go out and sell it so you're not stepping over it with us. Marcus Dellinger, $5,000 on the DI board. Also $5,000, although that week and month is lining up. No, it's not. Congratulations, Marcus. I mean, take that away from you. And I really didn't take it away. I was just attempting to. Michael Casey, top IUL producer for the week. Joshua Altenreich, $33,730 in IUL production. We're up something crazy like we've doubled in IUL premium year over year after a couple of really cool training calls from the Advanced Markets crew. And we got a lot more interesting stuff coming up as well on that. Congratulations, Mr. Alvarado with a $500,000 annuity. Jen Swigert with 1.4 million in annuities for the month. There you go, Jen. Nice. These ex-corporate agents know how to get it done. Have you noticed on the advanced market side? Good Lord. I like it. Top DFL rider for the week was Randall Brown with $54,000 in debt-free life production. That's crazy. Brenda Guerrero, though, $63,600 for the month. Way to go. Joe Martinez and Michael Mascola tied for 6 base shop recruits. Jacob Pogue with 59, Cook with 47, and Ziller with 29. Licensed recruits goes to Marty Valor. Edward Pritchett and Scott Forehand tied for 2nd place. Jacob Pogue, number 1 on the directs board with 22 licensed recruits for the week in the direct organization. Well done, sir. Ashley and Tyler Harris. I like that. It's no longer Tarler. It's Ashley and Tyler Harris. Congratulations. I don't think they're back yet, probably. And if I'm guessing, I'm assuming they're not on a conference call during their honeymoon in Italy or Switzerland or wherever they are. But they could be. If you guys are, congratulations. Top riders goes to Danny Young with 9 in his direct organization. Way to go, Danny. Jamie Susie with 4 SNAs for the week. Pogue for the week with 5. A lot of people with 2 there. Our top SNAs, our SNAs for the week. I'll go quickly through the last names. McGrew, Sandman, Wood, Pettis, Lux, Alval, Rains, Barnett, Henderson, Baca, Abdullah, McEwen, Sheffield, McLeod, McIntosh, Cater, Albright, Sanders, Catlett, Firth, and Rourke. Well done, SNAs. Now here's our new leaderboard layout, and we're open to discussing this. So feel free in the chat after you've taken it in, and maybe this is the 2nd or 3rd week of seeing this, but we wanted to give everybody a little more opportunities for recognition. This one's going to be a little longer because it's week and month, but Holly Jacobs, number 1 key leader for the week in APV, Adam Ellison in recruits, and Brenda Cox in new riders. For the month goes to Holly Jacobs. Troy Stevens on the recruit side with 25 recruits as a key leader. That's banging, man. Brenda Cox, new riders, 5 as a key leader. That's also really good. Agency owners, Jamie Susie for the week. Jeff Miller is the number 1 recruiter for the week with 17. Gillum, 14. Jensen, 12. Susie, 10. These recruiting numbers are getting crazy. Daniel Barnes with the most new riders for the week on the AO board. Susie for the month. Miller for the month on recruits. And Barnes in new riders as the top AO with 9. Well done. Agency directors, Paul Bine, Joseph Martinez, and Ben Sifapor. 23 recruits for you, Joe. Well done, buddy. Alvarado for the month with 535,000. Joe Martinez with 78. 21 new riders for Sifapor organization. Ben, is that a record? I'll accept texts, please. Eileen Balmer is the top rad for the week in production. What did we come up with as Dave Lappin's new nickname? We decided at the pool the other day. It was Hard Slapping Dave Lappin. Never Napping Dave Lappin.
Never Napping Dave Lappin was my favorite.
I've got younger, or I've got oldish and youngish kids, and they like to say slapping a lot. You know, like that slap. So I thought, I don't know, Hard Slapping Dave Lappin. Maybe we can let people weigh in on that too. Making It Happen, Dave Lappin. Never Napping, Dave Lappin. Shooting the Crapping, Dave Lappin. We can go on for hours.
Always clapping.
Always clapping, Dave Lappin's a good one too. I like that. For the month, it was Eileen Balmer with just shy of 700,000. Dave, good gosh, buddy. 80 recruits. Hemi, 72. Unbelievable. We see who's getting those riders, though. I see you, Marty. Well done. How many was that? 17 new riders for the month? These numbers are getting silly. Scott Summers was top for the week in APV. Chris Cook with 47 recruits. Brad and Kira Gainey with 6 new riders. Brad and Kira number 1 for the month. Chris Cook with 181 recruits. Brad and Kira 12. I think the first time riders and the new riders, it's going to start climbing like crazy for a lot of these guys. I mean, this new recruiting system is really starting to blow up. Top senior vice presidents, Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell, Jordan Janet Matthews on the recruit side, Nate Offert with 9 new riders for the month, just shy of 1 million. Kyle and Lisa, just shy of 100 on the recruits. And Nate Offert had 26 new riders. Well done. Sean Shannon, top in production for the week as the executive vice president. It's Miranda Martin with 23. Sean Shannon, 2 new riders. Tied with Darren Stubbs, I should say. I see you, Stubbs. Miranda Martin with 395,000 for the month. Sean Shannon with 63. And Sean Shannon with 13 new riders. Well done. Lynn Watkins just shy of $1 million, just shy of 900, I should say. We can't round up that high. Ryan and Michelle Miller, 67, edging out Watkins and Pogue for the top associate partner. Lynn Watkins with 18 new riders in his entire organization. Ashley and Tyler were across the world, and they still came in second with 13. Well done. Lynn Watkins, 3,260,000 recruits for Pogue and 57 new riders for Lynn. Pritchett over $1 million. Pritchett over 70. Pritchett over 23. Can I say over 23? Well done, man. I like those stats. Top overall rider or organization for the week. And I believe he's going to come in as the top for the month as well. 4.1 million, 304 recruits, and almost 90 new riders in that organization. Really good. Marshall Whalen, 886,000, 158 recruits, 25 new riders. Good weeks for Purdy and Delaney as well. 3.8. Good month, KP. 628 recruits for the month for Marshall's organization. Marshall, did you ever envision that you would have 628 just recruits in your organization, much less 100 new riders, 110 new riders for the month? George and Janet top for the week. Jacob Pogue top for the month on the directs board, 968,000. I believe he just broke out of direct. I see you, Paul. Top base shot, Paul. $238,000 in the base. Way to go, man. And that's our leaderboard. So it was a new flow, it was a new format. There was a lot more kind of recognition in there. So feel free to give us your feedback in the chat if you want. Is it too much? Is it, I doubt they'll say it's not enough. Is it just right? Do we like the new flow? Let us know. You're going to like the new flow of people joining your organization in the onboarding portal. Migration to the new system has begun and will continue over the next week. So be on the lookout for the email. It'll have your link so you can get logged into the new system. Next week, we'll provide an update on the final timelines for the complete migration, but this week starts those emails so that many of them will be coming to you. You guys have mentioned it, Brian Spivey down in Florida today. What time does that meeting start today?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in Orlando, Florida. Be there. Then hit Vegas, then hit Indianapolis. Week after week after week. We have a DFL boot camp in Dallas, Texas coming up in a couple of weeks, 23rd and 24th of June. You can register in person, or you can register for this in-person training. hq.quility.com/page/debt-free-life. Pretty easy to find it on there. And we also have a couple of other webinars this week, hosted by Efficiency's internal wholesaler and field underwriter, Jeremy Frumpkin, on QLT and ROP training. That should be good. And then DFLIVIN, hosted by Mike Resma every Tuesday, at 11 o'clock Eastern. And then, as they call the Rose Bowl, Spivey, the granddaddy of them all. The Quility National Conference in Denver, Colorado, August 17th through 19th. Room blocks are now available. Book a room in the block. It's going to be good and affordable for you, but you better get in there quick because rates go up like crazy this time of year in Denver. We're not kidding. Reimagine2022.com. Casey, as an agent, would there be anything in this world that could prevent you from attending the Quility National Conference? And obviously, take health and family health and those things maybe out of the equation, because there's always some things, but
it's always some things. But I wouldn't let much get in my way of this one. You and I just got back from a trip to New York, up in the big city, meeting some.
Yes, we did.
Doing some product development meetings, meeting with some potential capital partners. As you guys know, we're kind of in the process of capitalizing. A lot of excitement around our company and what's going on in the industry. And what's going on around us, and really, the things that we've been excited about, Brandon, and have been telling you guys we're excited about, mainly relating to our position and how ahead we feel like we are of everyone else when it comes to developing products that in an industry that really needs innovation and product development is really exciting. And certainly I think that trip up to New York was very validating for us. And so I think that kind of relates to conference in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be rolling out. Some stuff that we're going to be teasing that will be rolled out in the future. But we were sitting in a meeting this morning for 2 hours looking at the agenda, the whole flow of the conference. And I know we say this every year, but by far to me, like the best conference is on the books for Denver. I mean, that's what we're getting ready to go through. So it's just a matter of, you guys doing what you're doing, which is promoting it, getting people in the seats next to you, making that your core focus as a leader right now, is to say, if I want to be running $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $100,000 a week or $100,000 a day, whatever your goal is right now, for call it the third and fourth quarter of this year, everything is going to depend on how you pack conference out. So your numbers in the third and fourth quarter of this year are going to be dictated by your conference attendance from an agency standpoint. And I would argue that from a personal production standpoint, your personal production is probably going to be dictated a lot by how engaged you are at something like our national conference. So everything that we're working on behind the scenes, as you guys know, this is our opportunity to kind of get together with everyone in the company, corporate and all of you out there on distribution, and rub elbows, but really kind of talk about what's coming and what's here and what the future looks like. It's very exciting.
It is really exciting.
Register, hit the done button.
Yep. Our huddle this morning, as we were kind of with B-Dubs kind of hiking through the agenda, got us really excited. It's going to be unlike anything from a format, flow, everything unlike anything that we've ever done before. And I think the setting itself is going to be pretty special. So
you can't have a conference called Reimagine and not actually reimagine things.
This is true.
So yes, well said. It's going to be a lot different.
It is. Working on some special guests too. So fingers crossed. All right.
Yep.
So that was 18 minutes, 17, maybe even 16, because we got a little late start. That was week and month. So
I like it, Brandon, and I've seen some good feedback in the thing, but
Great feedback.
I like the
the
new leaderboards.
I like them too. Make sure you guys want to get your pictures into us though, for sure, so you don't have just a